Budget boards usually cut corners. This one cuts screws, cuts weight, and somehow still feels premium. Yeah, it's cheesy and I went there. Let's talk about the Neo60 Core. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're checking out the Neo60 Core, Neo Studio's new entry-level 60% that launched alongside its fancier big brother, the Neo60 CU. Now, the CU series goes all out with premium finishes, a heavier feel, and a bit more with its side profile and weight design. And the Core series, it's simpler, way easier to work with, lighter, and aggressively priced to bring more people into the hobby. But don't mistake simple for boring. There's actually a lot happening here under the surface. So let's break it down. So right out the box, the Neo60 Core feels very clean. The one-piece drop-in design keeps everything simple. No screws to mess with, no tricky disassembly, all thanks to the updated lock and pull mechanism. You can literally pull the entire PCB assembly out without even taking off your keycaps. But you do need the included plate fork that serves as the key. And visually, it's minimalist. Ultra thin bezels with subtle inward sloping edges. Nothing crazy, just a board that gets out of its own way. It has a few nice quality of life touches like the pogo pin connector to the PCB, no ribbons to mess with, and a cherry lip on the top side of the case. It's all small things, but they add up. So all in all, it's very similar to the popular Neo65 Core with some nice quality of life improvements. But before we get any further, let's throw in a quick sound test. Here's the Core with Cherry MX Black against the Neo65 CU with the same switches. The Core supports both gasket and O-ring mounting, and switching between them is super easy. Again, no full teardown needed, just pop the plate assembly out. Gasket mounting gives you that signature compressed Neo sound, kind of soft and a little muted, very consistent across the board. O-ring setup tightens things up slightly, gives a firmer bottom out feel. Here's a quick side-by-side to hear the difference. Overall though, because how the case and plate interact, you get a bit less sound variance from switches and plate materials compared to more traditional flexi gasket boards. It's just got that signature Neo sound, and good or bad depending on what you want. But for newcomers, this makes the board way more predictable. Now, if you are new to 60% layouts, there's one big thing to get used to. There's no dedicated arrow key clusters, but that doesn't need to be a deal breaker. Thanks to VS support, setting up the arrow cluster on a layer is actually super easy. There's a few common setups like the HHKB style, the WASD layer with the caps lock, or the IJKL cluster with the function key. You just hold a key like function or caps lock and boom, the arrows are right there. And VIA makes this crazy simple. Just drag and drop the keys you want to your function layer. And since the Neo60 Core has excellent hot swap and layout support baked in, there's a ton of flexibility to fine tune things exactly how you want. If you never messed with VIA before, this board is a perfect first dive. The case is made from 6063 aluminum, finished with spray coating or anode depending on the color, giving it a nice matte texture that doesn't feel too slippery or too rough. The weight options are pretty clever too. If you buy the wireless PCB, the back weight serves partly as a battery compartment, but if you get wired only, they slot in a full stainless steel block for extra heft. Not bad considering the core is targeting budget crowds. Also, Neo quietly swapped out the PC plate for polypropylene. Polypropylene gives it a slightly deeper, more flexible sound signature compared to polycarbonate. Honestly, not a bad move, although I know some people still love polycarbonate plates for their snappier response. One of the core's hidden strength is how friendly it is for people who love to mod or tinker. Because of the simple unibody case, gasket, and O-ring switchability and hot swap support, it's a playground for experimentation without the stress of constantly disassembling and reseating parts. And speaking of tinkering, let's listen to two very different switch setups on the core. The first setup is the HMX Canglan version 3 on an aluminum plate with no foam, and the second setup is the HMX Noirs on a palm plate with full foams installed. You can hear how much the plate material and foam change the board's sound, even though the base chassis sound stays pretty consistent. The Neo60 Core isn't trying to be the fanciest keyboard on the market. It's trying to be the most approachable, and honestly, I think it nails it. It's priced right, it sounds good, and it's easy to work with. It gives newcomers and experienced builders alike a lot of room to make it their own. Sure, it doesn't have crazy aesthetics like the CU series, but it doesn't need them. Sometimes simple done well is better. If you're just getting into custom keyboards, or if you want a board you can build and rebuild and experiment with over time, the Core series should absolutely be on your radar. So what do you think of the Neo60 Core? Would you pick a Core for your next build, or would you rather save up for the heavier CU series? Drop a comment below because we will love to hear what you're thinking, and if you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe for more keyboard content from Scoop Bar. Catch you in the next time.